curly hair, perfect line, her personality. I think you're over-medicating again, Mom. Well, my director, you could use the medication too.
Have but one objective.
Purple color I see. Then you maintain the status.
December 7th, 19...
I'm gonna question a psychopath.
The Orby has nothing to fear.
Baronian her passage Estonia. Azaruta 65-ին.
And there's an exchange of...
Arrived at the...
Our husbands and wives.
Daddy.
What? You get some...
Y otros en Mi Mejor Amigo, este domingo solo por Univision.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth. The gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. God saw that it was good, and the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And God said, "Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven." And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth." And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind." And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw, and God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. That in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
Tonight here, a warning about Facebook and what some believe it's doing to kids. The warning comes from two of the company's earliest executives.
Chamath Palihapitiya, a former Facebook executive once in charge of user growth, now says he has tremendous guilt about the social network he helped build. Former Facebook president Sean Parker recently said the initial goal was to get people hooked.
You're exploiting a vulnerability in human psychology. The inventors, creators understood this consciously, and we did it anyway.
I feel tremendous guilt. We curate our lives around this perceived sense of perfection because we get rewarded in these short-term signals, hearts, likes, thumbs up, and we conflate that with value and we conflate it with truth. And instead what it really is fake, brittle popularity that's short-term and that leaves you even more, and admit it, vacant and empty before you did it. Where, bad actors can now manipulate large swaths of people to do anything you want. It's a really, really bad state of affairs. It literally is a point now where I think we have created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works. The short-term dopamine-driven feedback loops that we have created are destroying how society works. No civil discourse, no cooperation, misinformation, mistruth. And it's not an American problem. This is not about Russian ads. This is a global problem. So we're in a really bad state of affairs right now, in my opinion. It is eroding the core foundations of how people behave by and between each other. And it is a point in time where people need to hard break from some of these tools and the things that you rely on. That is truly where we are. And I would encourage all of you, as the future leaders of the world, to really internalize how important this is. If you feed the beast, that beast will destroy you. And I don't have a good solution. You know, my solution is I just don't use these tools anymore. I can control my decisions, which is I don't use them. I can control my kids' decisions, which is they're not allowed to. Everybody else has to soul search a little bit more about what you're willing to do, because your behaviors, you don't realize it, but you are being programmed. It was unintentional, but now you got to decide how much you're willing to give up. If you feed the beast, that beast will destroy you. If you push back on it, we have a chance to control it and rein it in.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was. Look again.
Davina, Donald Trump has become just the third U.S. president in history to be impeached.
A rocket attack on the Baghdad airport kills Iran's most revered military leader.
Launching a revenge attack on the United States. Sending at least 3,000 soldiers to the Middle East.
Armenia and Azerbaijan confront each other over the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh.
At least 27 people have been killed in an attack on the
heavy artillery and have reported casualties.
Facing their worst plague of locusts in decades.
Widespread disruption in Brazil. This floodwater engulfed cars and communities.
Slamming into the Texas shore, winds of 90 miles an hour.
Some areas received half a month's rain in a single day.
Flooding rains, storm surge across more than 100 miles of the Texas coast.
Hurricane Delta. Winds up to 100 miles per hour. This is the 10th named storm to hit the U.S. this season.
People have died in devastating floods around the Indonesian capital.
16 people dead and 23 missing.
Strong earthquake in the Aegean Sea has shaken Turkey and
Puerto Rico
Greece.
this hour. A strong earthquake struck overnight, causing a
Rescuers
blackout
are searching for survivors after the magnitude 7 quake.
6.4 earthquake.
The powerful 7.5 magnitude
The magnitude 6.4 event caused widespread destruction, collapsing roofs, the facades of buildings, and entire buildings.
Damaged homes and caused landslides there.
Knocked out power and caused severe damage in some areas. Pavements wobbled hundreds of kilometers away.
Thousands in the Philippines were forced to evacuate this week after a volcano blanketed parts of the country with ash.
Devastating fires in Australia, killing at least 18 people, forcing tens
With thousands of firefighters and
first
responders are battling unprecedented wildfires. At least 2 dozen dead, more than 12 million
the areas
acres
that
destroyed.
are dealing with wildfires all along most of the coastline, some inland as
Major
well.
fires are blanketing the greater Los Angeles
rainforest
area.
is on fire again. Whole mountains, hills and valleys
12,000 kilometers
Australia's
away.
bushfires
In
have burned
Argentina,
through
8 billion hectares of land. The crisis killed and displaced 3 billion animals. That's 3 times worse than previously.
last. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth?
The people today, they called you king. They think you are the Messiah.
Who do you think I am?
You are the Son of God.
What if he's not the one? We're risking our lives. For what?
He has shown us his power. We must have faith in him.
Don't be afraid. Trust in God. Trust in me also. You know the way to where I'm going.
We don't know where you're going. How can we know the way?
I am the way, the truth, and the life.
I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. The beginning and the end.
My lord, I had been expecting death to come.
There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain. I am making everything new. Yes. I am coming soon. May the grace of the Lord be with all God's people.
Amen.
You are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. Born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
And as some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, As for these things which ye behold, the days will come in the which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be, and what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified. Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends. And some of you shall they cause to be put to death, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But there shall not an hair of your head perish. In your patience possess ye your souls. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars. And upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting, and drunkenness, and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
Tonight, let us honor these men and women. These our soldiers, our warriors. These our husbands and wives, our brothers and sisters, our children. Let us remember those that have been lost, and let us give thanks for those that have been found and who stand here beside us. Now I would like someone else to close this prayer. Someone who hasn't spoken here in a long time, but who I believe has something to say that we all need to hear. I give you Morpheus.
It is true, what many of you have heard, and as I speak, that army is drawing nearer to our homes. Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us, but if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here before you now, truthfully, unafraid. Why? Because I believe something you do not? No. I stand here without fear because I remember. I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. I remember that for 100 years they have sent their armies to destroy us. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us shake this cave. Tonight, let us tremble these halls of earth, steel, and stone. Let us be heard from red car to black sky. Tonight, let us make them remember. This is Zion, and we are not afraid!
Thank you.